Miku plans to buy a new car, but she has learned that her car will lose value quickly in the first few years that she owns it. An online calculator uses the following formula to show her the value, V of t, in dollars of the car t years from now. And let's look at this. So when t equals 0, it's always good to kind of see the starting conditions. When t equals 0, so v of 0 at time equals 0, so that's when the car is brand new, 0.85 to the 0 power is just going to be 1. So the brand new value of the car is $24,900. And you can see where this is constructed is every year that goes by, we're only going to retain 85% of the value. So after a year, it's going to be 24,900 times 0.85 once. After 2 years, we're going to take 85% of its value for the first year and then 85% of that for the second year. And before we even calculate, so one way you could say is like after a 2-year period, after 1 year, I'm going to retain 85% of my value. And then after another year, I'm going to retain 85% of that. And we could calculate what this is. But before we even do that, let's look at the choices. So we're clearly going to decline in value. So after a 2-year period, my car is not going to be worth 1.7 times its present value. It's not going to go up in value. We know that after every year, my car only retains 85% of its value. So after 2 years, there's no way it's going to retain 92.19% of its value. So it's not going to be it. Once again, we know after 2 years, it's going to lose 15% of its value 2 years in a row. Or it's going to year 1, it's going to retain 85% of its value, but then year 2 is going to retain 85% of that, 85% of 85%. So it still can't. That's not going to be 85. And just deductive reasoning, we could say, well, this is going to be this right over here. And we can verify that 0.85 times 0.85 is indeed equal to that. 5 times 5 is 25. 8 times 5 is 40. You get 42. Let me scratch that out. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 4 is 68. Add them all together. You get 5, 2, 7, whoops, 5, 2, 2, 7, and then you have 4 numbers behind our decimal place, 0.7225, which is exactly what you have there. Now another way that you could tackle it is you could do something a little bit more sophisticated. You could say, okay, let's say its present value, it's new. Let's say that this is we're just doing the car right when it's brand new, so it's V of 0. And then how many times V of 0 would the car be worth after 2 years? So this could be V of 2. V of 2. We could have done V of 1 in comparison to V of 3 or V of 10 in comparison to V of 12, but this is just going to be easier. So we want to figure out how many times more is V of 2 than V of 0. How many times more, how many times its present value would it be its value in 2 years? Well, so we take its value in 2 years, divide it by its present value. What's that going to be? Value in 2 years is 24,900 times 0.85 to the second power over 24,900 times 0.85 to the 0th power. Well, these are going to cancel. This is just 1, and you're just left with what we have before, 0.85 squared.